And let's talk about that a little bit. So after you passed and you kind of revisited, what was the drive, I guess, or the motivation to start working in Hawaii as an athletic trainer, working at MidPath,
Mm.
right? And you also worked in the
Yeah,
clinic. So explain some
yeah.
of that growth process and yeah, like just why you like helping all of these kids and clients and patients.
I like to help them. I'll get to why I went back to athletic training and how I got into, but I just want to get down to the reason why, right? Like, because I know what my pain feels like.
Mhm.
And I feel like I've had a lot of injuries that a lot of these athletes get, like
Mhm.
rotator cuff strains, knee sprains, contusions, concussions. I have a lot of empathy for them.
Mhm.
And going back to people not having the resources or the wherewithal to seek help, I remember that. So I always try to be more proactive into with their injuries instead of waiting for them to tell me what's wrong. So I'll tell them like the missing parts that they have, and this is what you need to do and who you need to seek out. But getting back to athletic training, my boss calls me, my current boss, and he says he needs help, and I was like, yeah, I'm always gung ho, like yeah, let's do it, like no apprehensions, like what, what's the worst that can happen, right? I've done this before, so he primarily had me doing football with him. If you want to see athletic training where it's hard work, football is the place to be. Because it's not just dealing with the athletes and dealing with their injuries. It's a lot of setting up for the game. But while I was working mainly football with Marcus Oshiro, I was also offered another position with Elam Sports, which is a physical therapy clinic in Kapolei. And that strengthened my rehabilitation skills.
Mhm.
Like I work for sports medicine in Hawaii, and I've worked in the clinic for years and deal with a lot of knees, a lot of total knee replacements, a lot of shoulder, and that has always been in the back of my mind. But there's at that time there was more volume and there was not a lot of time to process.
Mhm.
But when I came back, the PT clinic at Elam Sports didn't deal with a lot of volume. So I was able to, I could digest it more. Everything was making sense. Like,
Mhm.
okay, this is the progression of the rehab exercises.
Mhm.
These are the rehabilitation exercises. And, sometimes there are more accessory movements than the main movement. And
Mhm.
then sometimes you just need to breathe, right? So that you can understand stuff. Like so much pressure on you. All you're doing is just working, dishing out. You don't even know if you're understanding the product you're dishing out. For me, like I just so much more space to think. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Everything made sense. So from that point, and that was I don't know, 8 years ago when
Mhm.
I came back. And as the years went on, like I feel like I pick up a lot more knowledge pertaining to athletic training, pertaining to rehab and some performance enhancement.
Mhm.
A lot of students at my school, I know they worked with you, and when they tell me that, oh, I see Andrew Takata, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Stay there. It was good because I knew I had a pretty good rapport with you, so I could
Mhm.
call you to see
Yes.
how they were doing, what we needed, or you could like I'm so open to you telling me don't do any of this stuff. It's always good to have friends in the community, whether it's fellow athletic trainers, PTs, doctors. Be nice to everybody. Like, you can help each other out. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Collaborating and everyone has a different piece of the puzzle to help the athlete, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's what we all care about, like you said, is making sure that they not only recover, but they're better off than what they were before. And that
Yeah.
process, I think, is what all or most athletic trainers have in common, is just trying to do whatever it takes to be that little support to help the athlete along their way and perform better again.